All right, everybody. Good morning, and again, welcome to another workshop webinar with Messer Financial Group and my good friend Karen Stiggers, our Director of Agent Development. Today, we're in I would say, the second phase of what do we do next. We've identified the opportunities last week with a great webinar with Karen, and we now know that there's a plethora of things that you guys can be out doing. But I want to go back and reiterate the first step of that is making sure that you have the contracts in place that you need. And you can obviously do that with us here at Messer Financial very easily. We do everything through paperless contracting and Sure LC. If you need some help with that, you can give us a call at 866-568-9649, and the staff and producer support will help walk you through that process if you haven't yet done that. And that way you can take advantage of using Messer Financial's proprietary enrollment tool, MyMFG. It serves not only as an enrollment tool for the over 65 products, but those under 65 products, and is a great functioning tool for a CRM. Karen touched on that a little bit with some of the things that you need to be doing throughout the opportunities that we have with the SEPs going on. We'll probably end up seeing some more of those due to the crazy weather that we've had. I think Texas announced one in the last couple of days. Check with us on our agency or industry update, for more information on that. And we'll make sure that as we get that information, we'll get that out on our website so that you guys can make sure to stop in and check to find out the latest updates. With that, today's webinar is very important. We're going to talk about something that follows a very strategic step in the sales process, and that's retention. And retention, by definition, is nothing more than the acts of retaining or taking part or taking action to maintain something that you've gained. And with that, Karen's going to go over some of the things that she's found in her personal experience and through her experiences of training agents with us and throughout the country, and the best case practices to make sure that those hard-earned clients don't walk out the back door once we've got that initial sale. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Karen. She's going to touch on some high points for us. And again, if you've got any questions, we'll do a little Q&A at the end. And if you need some additional help, make sure that you reach out to producer support today, and we'll make sure that we get you talking to the right people so that you're best prepared to go out and do your best work. So Karen, with that, I'll turn it over and take it away.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate you introducing me this morning. And again, thank you, guys. I know this is our webinar Wednesday. I hope you don't hear that barking in the background. I may have to take him downstairs, but just thank you guys again for coming in, ladies, for our webinar workshops. As we know, these are some crazy times right now. And as Jeff mentioned earlier, besides the pandemic, we have other disasters and natural disasters all over the country. So please pray, for everyone, including if you all have heard the news yesterday with Tiger Woods. Again, it's just so much to be thankful for. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I want to talk about today is how we retain our clients and what are some of the things we can do to make sure not only are we safe and healthy, but we're also keeping our business growing and also doing that by working with and checking on our clientele. So I don't know why this always gives me trouble on my first slide, but let's talk about this. As we said, what a year, 2020 has been. And, if you're the type of agent that normally physically sees your client during open enrollment or during AEP, it has been a challenge, So if you enroll them, especially face to face, trying to navigate with them and during this AEP has been a real challenge. And some of the main things or the agents have been talking about, especially those clients that, we deal in, a lot of us is the Medicare market. So there are several seniors that aren't used to the computer or don't have access, to the internet or a tablet or iPad or something like that. So this year has been strange to say the least, but we've gotten it done. So there's a will, there's a way. I know agents have said they have talked with their clients and asked them, if they have a family member or a grandchild or someone that can assist them. I know some of the senior centers have computer rooms, and they have been really good with helping some of their clients there, go down and show them how to log on and things like that. So, this has just been a year of innovation, a year of I think all challenges, creates a triumph. But challenges will allow you to do, learn a different type of way to do something. And this year has definitely proved that. So we know we still have to get out there and help people win, help people get the best plan that's possible for them. So we just have to find some new ways to do that. So with that said, I want to go over a few points, not going to hold you long. We're going to talk about how do you stay connected and how do you safely retain your clients. Also, how do you stand out among those average agents? What can you do differently? And how not only do you retain, but how do you grow your business during this time or with your existing clients, your existing book of business? And what action steps could you follow within these next 90 days? We're still in the first quarter of 2021. So if you haven't done some of these things, maybe some of them will trigger some good ideas for you to be able to do for next year or for the rest of this year. So, how do I stay connected and safely retain my clients? Excuse me. What I will say, the number one thing is stay in contact with your clients. There is no way around that. We know that we are in the people business. Stay in contact with your clients. You cannot just speak to them only during AEP. And I've heard that over the years. If I got a new client or got a referral and they say that they're already in a Medicare plan, I'm just using Medicare for example, and I'll ask them, well, how did you get in this plan? Well, I had a lady come by about 5 years ago and enrolled me, but I haven't heard from her since. Or I had a gentleman, we had a workshop or something downstairs and he enrolled all of us and we haven't heard from him since. That is not good business practice. We are in the people business. So I want to ask you, this past March, did you call your clients from March to May last year to check on them? And that's rhetorical. That's something for you to think about. We know March, around 16th, 17th, the pandemic really hit where everything has started to be shut down. Schools were shut down. And I'm sure you had to make some adjustments in your own household. Everyone was running out buying toilet paper, and Lysol and all of those things. So I know it was a challenge for everyone. This has never happened throughout the world at the same time. But after you gotten yourself readjusted and took care of things in your family, did you call your clients? I hope so. If you didn't, that's something you really need to do. Every single client, I don't care if it's Medicare Life, you should have called them to check on them, and especially if you're in our senior market, because there's so many that don't have anyone, any family members or anyone to do that. So stay in contact with your clients. Now, when you call your clients, don't just call them, and say, hey, how you doing? Always have a pen, pad, computer, tablet, whatever you use, and take great notes. That is very, very important. Ask them about their families. If your client is married, what is your anniversary date? Do they have any pets? You want to have a conversation with your clients to get to know them, especially more than ever, again, with this pandemic, and it's hitting the senior population and our most vulnerable population the hardest. And as you're getting those notes, if you're using our program, MyMFG, you're able to type all of that information in the system while you're talking to them. It's a built-in CRM, so you're able to take all of those notes. But if not, however you take your notes, make sure you take them and put them in that file, because you're going to need that when you make those phone calls throughout the year. As you're talking to them, ask them, are they having any trouble, getting their medications, or if they're having any food insecurities, meaning lack of food. Do they need to get to a pantry or something that you may be able to do or point them in the right direction? We've heard this saying over and over and over again, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So when you call your clients, really, really kind of dig in. Again, especially if you're talking to the senior population, I would say that call, that first initial call needs to be at least a 10 to 15-minute call. You don't want to rush your client. You want to find out everything you can possibly do. And again, remember, guys, you may be the only person they've talked to. So I've had some long-winded clients that you think you're going to be on the phone for 5 minutes and it may be 45 minutes. And that may happen, but we know we can't have a 45-minute call to every client because you have to get through your list. So how are you planning your day? What time are you taking to use, 2 hours a day to call, your 10 or 15 clients per day till you get through your list? But you need to stay in contact. So it's just something to think about. What are you doing for your clients throughout the year to stay relevant, to keep them on them, to keep you fresh on their minds? So how do I stand out? How do I stand out among the average agent? What sets you apart? And I paused so you can think about that. What sets you apart from other agents? How are you reinvesting back into your business? What are you doing? Your business is your clients, and that's who you're marketing to. So, how much money do you set aside for marketing? You can do for your marketing, for your advertising, for your gifts for your clients, or all the other resources that you're able, to provide. I don't know about you, excuse me, when I was out there selling, I tell my clients, call me first. I'm your first line of protection, your first line of defense. Don't call the Humana, Blue Cross, whatever, company that they decide to go with. Call me first. I'm your first person to be in contact with. So what are you giving them? What kind of resources are you offering them? Do you know where the food banks are located in your client's area? Do you have the local numbers or websites that they may need for energy assistance? If they call you first, if you ask them to call you, do you have your resources and your information ready to give them? Have their income changed? Do you need to help them apply for Medicaid or for low income subsidy? Did you go over your client benefits this year, even if they decided to stay with their current plan? That happens quite a bit. You may call your client or send them a letter and they say, I'm fine, I'm just gonna let it roll over. Okay, great, thanks, go to the next. And we can do that if we're busy because you're trying to get, that new blood or new clients. But even though they don't want to change, yourself, we're creatures of habit. How many of us every single year, look at our life insurance policy or look at our car insurance or a homeowner's insurance policy and go out and get new quotes? 9 times out of 10, you just let it roll over. It's easy. You don't want to deal with the hassle. And your clients do the same thing, especially if they're in a senior market. What you still want to go over what's new, what's have changed. We know that they get that ANOC notice, that annual notice of change, but I'm sure it's only about 2 or 3% that actually know that their copays are going to change. So even though they want to stick with their same plan, make sure you're spending that time to just hit at least those highlights of what's going to change from one year to the next. So birthdays. I'm sure you know all of your clients' birthdays because you have to put that on every application, no matter what you're writing. If it's MA, if it's life insurance, hospital plan, you know their birthdays. So what are you doing for your client's birthday? Hopefully something. Is it sending out a card? Is it sending a gift? Is it just simple as calling them on their birthday? I don't know about you, but that phone call means everything. I've learned over the years, certain things I'll send actual gifts or calendars or things like that. But that birthday is a phone call. You have no idea how that, just think about you on your birthday. We're in the digital world now where you may just get a text or email or someone on Facebook might say happy birthday, but it's nothing like a phone call. Again, if you're working with the senior population, that is so important. That could, again, be the only phone call or the only birthday wish that they received. So spend some time, just, However, again, you have your system set up to make sure you do something for your clients. I suggest birthday. That's quick. It takes a few minutes. It didn't cost you anything, and you made your client's day. Same thing as anniversary. If your client has an anniversary, give them a quick call or send them a letter. I mean, not a letter, send them a card or something like that. Christmas. Again, whatever you decide to do for Christmas. I know as I was building my business, at first I used to call for the holidays, didn't have a lot of money. Then I would get Christmas cards. I would buy them after Christmas is over because everything is 50 to 60% off. So I would go to Walmart and Walgreens and Target and buy hundreds and hundreds of Christmas cards. So I got them 50% off, and I have them already mailed, ready to go, for the following year, and put a couple of business cards in there. Then I graduated to calendars, so I have a certain calendar for my male clients and female clients, and things like that. So as you build your book, or whatever your income or your marketing budget is, step it up and do things, for those holidays. Again, if you're taking good notes, some of your clients may not celebrate holidays or celebrate Christmas. So you do that accordingly because you don't want to offend anyone. But that goes back to, are you having that conversation and really getting to know your client? Over-the-counter benefits. We know most of our Medicare plans have OTC. How many of your clients are not making their monthly or their quarterly OTC orders? I know it's quite a bit. We hear it from the carriers. So that's another reason to call them once a quarter. It's hey, did you place your order for your over-the-counter benefits? For example, hey, you have Humana, you get $100 every 3 months. Please make sure you order. Now, I have some clients that say, well, I don't need any of that stuff, or it's generic, I don't want it. So what I suggest to them, I say, well, even if you don't need it, Miss Jones, especially the seniors that's on Medicare and Medicaid, some of them get $300 to $400 a quarter. I say, well, why don't you order it anyway? And I'll come by and pick it up, and I'll take it to the homeless shelters. And they'll be like, oh man, I didn't think about that. They say, well, I'll do that. I say, yes, even if you don't use the products or if you don't need them, toothpaste, alcohol, peroxide, incontinence items. I said, please place your order every month or every quarter. And then that's something that you can donate to somebody that's less fortunate. So just an idea to mention that, because that way everybody wins. Also, you can call them and talk about the benefits, that they may give for routine exams or physicals or things like that. If they're enrolled, for example, in a Humana plan, they have that Go 365 and they get gift cards. If they have a physical every year, they get a mammogram. If they get a flu shot, I believe they get a $10 gift card. If they exercise and count their steps, they get a gift card. So these are some talking points you can do when you call your clients, because you are their resource. You're giving them a resource. Some of the clients have the food card benefit if they're on Medicare or Medicaid, depending on the plan they have. So talk to them about that. Hey, make sure you use that food card, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Newsletters, that's something else that you may want to do or give to your clients, maybe a physical copy, or I know some of the seniors are more computer savvy. That'll be a nice little thing that you can send out, once a quarter, a newsletter to your clients. So just some things I want you to think about on how do you stay in contact? What are you doing to set yourself apart from other agents? So now, how do I not only retain those clients, but how do I also grow my business with my existing clients? So if you've done those first 2 slides, this shouldn't be too hard to do. So as I say, now that you have built that rapport with your client, it shouldn't be difficult to talk to them about the other products you sell. So if you do sell more than one product, then make sure when you talk to them that second time, especially if you're an MA agent, you can't talk about life insurance at the same time as you're there for an MA appointment. So when you're doing your follow-up calls, this is a great time to talk to them about the other products you sell. If you sell life insurance, if you sell hospital indemnity and MA, you should have talked about that at the same time. That's one of my other trainings. Make sure of your um, offering them a Medicare Advantage plan, you are coupling that with a hospital plan. But those are some of the things that you can talk about. If you talk to them before, when you talk to them and you found out that they have children or grandchildren, when you're doing that second follow-up call, then you can get the information for their children, to be able to talk to them about life insurance or some other products that you may sell. So referrals, 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 referrals. Ask your clients, who do they know that they may need your service? Now, you remember, you have to be careful, again, depending on what product line that you sell. If it's life insurance, sure, you can get a referral, you can call that client, no problem. But if it's Medicare Advantage, you cannot directly call that client. You can tell your client to give them your phone number, or if you're seeing them face to face, you can of course leave, several business cards. But you have to know what product you're selling and how you can go about with that referral service. Also consider adding any other product lines, to your business, or partner with an agent who doesn't sell those products and you can refer each other. I say that way everyone wins. I know we have some agents that are Medicare only, Medicare Advantage or supplements only. They don't want to sell life. They don't want to sell any of those other products. And that's fine. Absolutely. But you still are not totally, covering or making sure your client is fully protected. So there's nothing wrong with saying, Ms. Jones, do you also have, life insurance? And they might say, well, yeah, I need some more. It's a term. Then say, well, what I'm going to do is I have a business partner and that's what he or she specializes in. Do you mind if I give them your phone number so they can reach out to you and make sure you're covered on that end? And have that reciprocation as well. So that life client should be referring all their MA business to you. So partner with someone if you don't want to do, more than one thing. As referrals, also with referrals, remember also, again, if you're in the MA space, you got to be careful on your referrals as far as monetary referrals. We can give up to a $15 gift per client. And it doesn't matter if they have decided to sign up with us for an MA plan or not. You have to offer that to everyone, but it doesn't just limit you to the $15. Remember, if you are doing a presentation or if you are doing a group, and that's kind of interesting. I'll have to find out about it if you're doing a group Zoom presentation. But just say if you have 20 people, in attendance, remember, you can give that gift 20 times 15. So you can give a pretty nice gift if you have a guarantee or an RSVP for a certain amount of people. So that's a $300 gift that you can give someone. You can call it a raffle and you will be okay because you're within that $15 limit if you have 20 people that RSVP. So again, that's another way to be able to get people out and offer, a nice gift. Oh, also, as a referral as well, you cannot give more than $75 for the year. But that's another way, again, to be able to get some referrals when you're talking with your current book of business. If they give you a client, you can send them a gift card. It can't be a cash gift card, but no more than $75 for the year. So that's a great incentive. A good Starbucks gift card or something like that they can use, Target, whatever that works is in your area. Networking. Network. That's, again, a lifeline to how do you meet new people. So even though you may not meet people in person right now doing networking events, you can still network with other agents with other lines of business. I'm sure you have car insurance, homeowners or something. So who is your PNC agent? Call them and let them know what you do and let them know that you can reciprocate the business as well. I get a lot of referrals from PNC agencies because they don't write Medicare. So then when you're calling your client, and checking on them and talking with them, ask them, hey, who do you have your auto, and your homeowners insurance with? And when they let you know, tell them, hey, if you want to get a quote or want to make sure, you're paying the best price, I have someone that you may be able to reach out to. That telling you that goes a long way. So again, they're looking at you as a valuable resource. Not only did Karen help me with my Medicare and my prescriptions and told me where the local food bank was, she's also concerned about, my auto insurance. So again, people want to do business with someone that they know cares about them. So as I close, I want to talk about what action steps should you follow in these next 90 days. Guys, we can do this. What action steps can I do when I get off of this webinar? If you have not already, call all of your clients. If you have an assistant, maybe you may have your assistants, share that list with you. That just depends on you or how personal you want to be. But you need to stay in contact with your clients. They are the lifeline of your business. Without them, you have no business, you have no renewals. Get your marketing plan together. And not only get it together, we have to implement it. Remember, if you invest in your business, it will pay you dividends. So if it's the investing in marketing, sending out, brochures or literatures, or as I talked about, a newsletter, calling your clients and asking for those referrals and getting a few $100s in gift cards. But what are you going to do? How are you going to market for the remaining of the year and for years to come? You want to set a system up where it's duplicatable, where next year you're not, doing something different. Find something that works. You can always add to it, but you want to get a solid plan together and be able to use that and implement that, year after year after year. I recommend the book if you haven't read it. It's called The 12-Week Year by Brian. I don't know if it's Moran or Moran, but this is a really good book. This book teaches you how to work your business and set your goals in quarters instead of annually. Many of us, and many of us may not, do a business plan every year. So keep it simple. Hey, I want to make $100,000 this year. Okay, look, we're already at the end of February, so we're almost at the end of the first quarter. Have you made $25,000 yet? So we're breaking it down in quarters. So the book, The 12-Week Year, shows you how to set your annual goals as quarterly goals. And it's really, really interesting, and it makes it much more tangible and easy to reach than having that $100,000 goal, for the year. And if you just say you screwed up this first or second quarter, now you're trying to play makeup. But if you break that down into quarters, get the book. It explains it well. It really works. And lastly, I would say volunteer, especially now more than ever. Volunteering, it not only makes you feel good, but you can really, really see how blessed you are. And it is another opportunity to get more clients. So that's hopefully not the only reason why you volunteering, but it goes hand in hand. I volunteer, quite a bit, especially during this pandemic, just to see the lines. Oh my goodness, to see the lines of cars of just waiting to get food is it's sobering and very, very humiliating, I'm sure, and just humble to you to be able to assist that. So find out where you can volunteer. And when you volunteer, get your bags together. So not only are you putting the food and stuff in the people's cars, but you can get you a little gift bag and, put you a snack in there, some chips or something. Disposable mask is good. And some business cards, some mints. So little bags like that. So as you're volunteering, they don't mind you also adding that into the bag. And you can let them know, who you are and, this is what you do. You put a bag in there with your information. So if they need any assistance, to please reach out, and contact you. So with that, guys and ladies, that is all I have. I didn't want to hold you long. I just wanted to let you know that, during this time, we can still maintain our business. We can grow our business. If you're not out and about, which many of us are now spending, a lot more time in the house, use this time wisely. Set that time aside every day, an hour, 2 hours a day to reach out to your clientele, because they will really love to hear from you. Again, you can learn some things from them, and it would definitely set you apart and help you increase and maintain your book of business. That's all I have for you. Jeff, if we don't have any questions, we can go.
I think that's it. And Karen, thank you so much for that. Just a reminder, everybody, make sure that you're working on yourself in terms of professional development. Karen recommended a great book there. And she also said take some time every day to work on that for yourself, lay your plan out, and then go about working that plan with the discipline to stay with it, so that after a certain period of time you can measure how successful that plan was and then adjust accordingly. Again, if you've got any questions or if you need some help with contracting, want to find out more about MyMFG and how that can help you become a better agent on the backside as far as maintaining your records and keeping up with your client retention, give us a call at 866-568-9649. Again, want to thank Karen for her time today, and be on the lookout for our next series that she'll be putting together as we start to work through the sales cycle and continuing to help you guys improve. Again, thank you. Be well and be safe out there, and have a great rest of your week. We look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.